guys, Ish here from Ish Network, and today I will be talking about what you guys can expect from Samsung at Mobile World Congress 2015 for their Samsung Unpacked 2015 event. Now, right off the bat, I'll say I have never been this excited for a Galaxy product since the Galaxy S3, and this is because the new trailers Samsung has put out and the new teasers and the new direction they're basically taking with their devices. Now, I'll start off by saying there will be two main flagship variants, the Galaxy S6 and the Galaxy S Edge. Now, I'll break this down into three categories: design, hardware and specs, and the software. Let's start off with design. Now, it's been leaked enough, and we know already with their new direction with the Galaxy Alpha and the Galaxy Note 4 that the Galaxy S6 and the Galaxy S Edge will sport a glass and metal design. Now, rumors and leaks have indicated that it will be a glass front panel, glass back panel, with a metal band around the edges. If this sounds familiar, it should, because that's the same way iPhones used to be manufactured before the iPhone 6, with a glass front and back and a metal chassis surrounding it. Now, this isn't the only similarity though, because the S Edge will maintain a thinner profile, one that rivals the iPhone 6, and will have the layouts of many components in a similar fashion. The speaker is being moved from the back to the bottom, and that's a plus, that we can now actually hear sound that's protruding towards us more than be away from us, so that's also a change in the design. And obviously it will be a very unibody design, just like the HTC M8 and the iPhone. And that's pretty much it for the design. Should be glass and metal, glass front panel, back panel, as I said before, with the metal band. Hardware in terms of specs. So we already know that the Snapdragon 810 will not be used in the Galaxy S6 because Samsung decided to ditch them because of overheating issues. Now, it hasn't been said that Samsung ditched it, but it's pretty much implied because Qualcomm released a statement saying that one of their biggest OEMs will forego their chips for a batch of flagship devices. And later, after that day, there were multiple OEMs that listed their statements supporting the Snapdragon 810 and how awesome it is, and Samsung, surprisingly, was not in that list. So that obviously implies Samsung is using their own in-house Exynos 7 octa-core processors, which will be implemented in both the S Edge and S6 worldwide. You won't be seeing a Snapdragon variant of the phone, unfortunately, for developers. For the consumers, this is actually a plus because the Exynos 7 Octa completely destroys the Snapdragon 810 in performance in every single category, as shown by the Geekbench leaks. Now, for developers, I know this is going to be a problem because they have hated Samsung for using Exynos because they don't release the source code. That way it makes it hard for developers to actually develop good ROMs and apps and mods for that device. And I know I faced that issue with the Note 4. There aren't that many customization options available as the Snapdragon variant, and I'm still waiting for a CyanogenMod port, which just goes to show how Exynos does affect the developer community. Screen, obviously Quad HD 1440p on a 5.1-inch display, should be calibrated better than the Note 4, which is already the best display in any mobile device according to DisplayMate. So that should definitely be a thing to marvel at. Powering all that will be 3 gigs of RAM that it can store locally, and for storage options you should see the 32, 64, and 128 gigabyte models with micro SD expansion. Now, in terms of hardware, the battery will be soldered in this time. Because of the unibody design, the battery will not be removable, and it's rumored to be a 2600 mAh battery, and according to leaks, that is the indication. But you shouldn't worry about that too much, as the battery size should not matter, as the Exynos 7 Octa is built on a 14 nanometer process compared to the Snapdragon 810 and the previous Exynos models being built on a 20 nanometer process, which means the processor itself is smaller, which means it'll be more efficient yet more powerful. So that's also a plus to the hardware aspect. And it will come with wireless charging right out the box. No need to buy another back cover or anything like that. It will come built into the system. Again, it's new direction because they've had to solder everything together as it's a unibody design. In terms of software now, this is where you'll see the most change to the Samsung device. Now, the camera module itself, again, 20 megapixels, amazing module according to Samsung. It is the perfect shot for any situation. It's basically shoot and forget. It basically calculates everything it needs to by itself. The software in that will be very robust, as has been leaked. Manual controls will basically be a DSLR-like control without the huge lens protruding out of the phone. Manual controls, that's what it is. And automatic, basically, as Samsung stated, fire and forget. That's how it is. So that's one big change to software, along with a heavy de-bloat of the system, which is very, very, very welcome. On a 3 GB RAM device, I notice my system usually takes up 1.7 or 1.6 when it's idle. That's just for a Samsung device, but when I run stock Android on, let's say, my Galaxy S3, it uses pretty much about 500 megabytes of RAM. So where is that extra gig coming from, Samsung? Yeah, TouchWiz, you guessed it. That's what they eliminated this time around. They're heavily de-bloating it, so the RAM usage will be up to 1 gigabyte less compared to previous TouchWiz flagship devices. So that's definitely a plus, and with the de-bloat, that will mean more storage for the person to use by themselves, which is another plus, as the Galaxy S5 faced that problem where 8 gigs were used right out of the box by the system. So there are many things to look forward to in the Samsung Galaxy S6 and the Galaxy S Edge. And just to talk about the Galaxy S Edge for a moment, there are 2 variants rumored to be coming out, and speculation says they will be one single curve and one dual curved variant coming out. So take it as you will. I'm pretty pumped. I will be tuning into the live stream of the event on Samsung's website for Mobile World Congress. Definitely loving the new direction Samsung's taking with their phones. And if you have an upgrade this year and you have to upgrade, this will probably be the phone to upgrade to. Now, I'm not taking any sanctions against the HTC One M9 or the LG G4, but just based off raw power, the Samsung Galaxy S6 should be the one to lead the pack. So that's basically what you could expect from Samsung for Mobile World Congress. I will be doing a video shortly highlighting what you could expect from HTC at Mobile World Congress as well. They are on the same day, just ahead of the Samsung press release, and they also have a bunch in store. So stay tuned. I will see you guys next time.